Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. I'd like to do a land acknowledgement. I am back in my beloved Green Mountains in what is now called Vermont. It's the land of the Abenaki or Abenaki people. I'd like to acknowledge the ancestors, the tribe, and the land theft as we open sacred space. Okay. I always want to put the whole universe into a Wednesday, and I only give myself a few windows of time to work out what is it that is current in my prayer life that is worth sharing with others. And I was trying to come up with the opening prayer, and really I just have so much gratitude for a heart that is still open. I've just come back from an amazing time in Santa Fe with the Spiritual Directors International, and that time was amazing and so full of euphoria even, and joy and deep connection and incredible anxiety and sorrow. You know, I heard from Indigenous grandmothers and women of colour about what COVID has been like in their community and all the elders who have died and the impact, not that statistic that I know that COVID has affected BIPOC people very badly, but to actually hear the stories of that, to feel that in my body, while also the hate continues. And when we're there, there's a shooting, I'm sure you all know about it, just the incredible grief, and also almost like body panic around, oh my God, we're going to hell in a handbag. And there's fires all around, there's smoke, there's amazing sunsets right next to incredible healing and joy. And somehow the heart holds all of this. Now, how do you put that into an opening prayer? I decided I wasn't able to. So I'll just tell you the story and then borrow somebody else's words. This is Psalm 84 interpreted by Nancy Merrill. How glorious is your dwelling place, O blessed architect of this universe. My soul longs, yes, aches for the abode of the beloved. All that is within me sings for joy to the living heart of love. Even as the sparrow finds a home and the swallow a nesting place, where its young are raised within your majestic creation. You invite us to dwell within your heart. Blessed are they who put their strength in you, who choose to share the joy and sorrows of the world. They do not give way to fear or doubt. They are quickened by divine light and power. They dwell within the peace of the Most High. They go from strength to strength and live with integrity. Amen. I believe that. And I set my life up to try and pretty much live out that psalm. And it's disarmingly gentle. It holds a lot of tears in it for me. So I'd like to open by honouring the shooting and the pain and the hate crime that is rife in our world at this time. And rather than hide under a boulder and pray that it goes away, I want us to open our hearts and really remember that every individual who is gunned down or beaten is not a victim. It's a beautiful piece of God's tapestry, and it is right to remember that. So let's borrow a Jewish prayer And this melody for this Jewish prayer was created after the shooting in the synagogue in Pittsburgh. I think it was Pittsburgh. I'm not very good at my American geography. Anyway, that heart pain of the marginalized being attacked for no reason other than because people hate them. This has to end. But it's our job in the meanwhile to remember. In the rising of the sun, we remember. In the blowing of the wind, we remember. In the opening of the buds, we remember. We remember. In the blueness of the sky, we remember. In the rustling of the leaves, we remember. As the year starts and it ends, we remember. We remember. When we're weary and need of strength, we remember. When we're lost and sick at heart, we remember. When we've joys we yearn to share, we remember. We remember. So long as we live, they too shall live. They are now a part of us. They are now a part of us. As we remember. As we remember. As we remember. So how do I begin to share with you? I said before I went to this conference in Santa Fe, I'd try and bring some riches back with me. And I think I have like a decade's worth of things to ponder and put into practice. Well, let me know in the chat if you were there. I know, so I should back up. You can be there in two ways. You could have been there virtually. Diane, I don't know if you're with us here in Chants and Prayers for Healing, but I heard your voice in my workshop. So I went to Santa Fe because I was presenting a workshop on song as a listening practice. I'm going to share that with you all and my Patreon. I've got a date here, 17th of June, 2-hour workshop. It's called Song in Silence, and it's about using song as a deep listening and a prayer practice. And that's why I went out, and there was hundreds of people part of this conference online, and there were hundreds of people there in person, and it was a beautiful gathering. It was really a beautiful gathering. So if you were part of that, let me know in the chat here. Yeah, it was with Spiritual Directors International. It was very special, and one of the things that was really unusual about it was this guitar here. Yeah, her name is Healing, and some of you will know that I drove over her with my truck many years ago, about 4 years ago, and the truck won and the guitar was smashed to horrendous smithereens, and it was a horrible moment in which I thought I was going to throw up, and the guitar was actually worth more money than the truck. And it had been gifted to me after I did a film about my voice changing, and I'd played it at people's deathbeds. It was a horrible moment when something that was profoundly intimate with me and my prayers, and an object that I really am very attached to, musicians get very attached to their instruments, was smashed into smithereens. So, long story short, I rebuilt it as a prayer process. And my friend James, who sometimes is here, hi James if you're here, he is a luthier and he taught me how to do the carpentry side of it. He's also a bit of a mystic, so he helped me with the mystical side of it too. And we rebuilt it as a prayer process. Now, one of the things about it is it's got an icon of St. Francis, and I know you won't be able to see that. But that there used to be where the electrics were, where the little knobs were that you would turn to turn up and down the volume. So I had some holes on my guitar, and I was like, what do I do about this? So I found this beautiful icon of St. Francis, and he's on the guitar. And the guitar is dedicated to St. Francis because he's kind of my main dude. You all know that. I didn't realize that Santa Fe is a city dedicated to St. Francis. So that makes sense to me, because I normally don't put my guitar on an airplane because I'm worried about it getting damaged. I've got another guitar that's overbuilt for exactly that purpose, but this one asked to come. And so very nervously, I took my guitar on the airplane and arrived and found that this whole place, this whole town, has many faces. It's got a history far before the Franciscans and the Spanish arrived. But one of the aspects of Santa Fe is a place dedicated to St. Francis. And here I am, I've come to sing one of St. Francis's songs at the conference and lead a whole workshop on it, and I had no idea. And that was the start of beautiful musical unfoldings. So my time in Santa Fe was full of song and blessing. So let's start with the prayer of St. Francis. Lord, make me a channel of your peace. Grant that I can see through my human pain and still feel loved. In the darkness, let light be found, and there we need light to find us here. Lord, make me a channel of your peace. We all need to learn to forgive a few more 100 times. Melt our hatred and let love take root in our hearts. Lord, make me a channel of your peace. And through my own pain and need, I can learn to understand. Reach through our sorrow, let it be joy. Oh, let it be joy. Now, before I met St. Francis in Santa Fe, I met Mary. Hence the fact that I opened with Ave Maria. So I get there, SDI is giving me a hotel room, and I get there and I'm too early, it's not ready. So I have to go out, and I find this little hole in the wall place to eat, and I sit down and I sit right underneath Our Lady of Guadalupe, enormous picture of her, and a Russian icon that catches my attention immediately because I have the same icon and I've never been able to find out anything about it. When I lived on Iona, these two women from Russia came to visit, and they gifted me and my wife at the time this icon of the Madonna and the infant Christ, and there's a footprint in a rock underneath, and I don't see this icon anywhere. So I say to the woman who's serving me, can you tell me about that icon? She said, no, it's mine. She said, it's mine, but I don't know anything about it. And I'm like, oh, I've got the same icon. And she got really excited and then told me that the symbolism in the painting of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And she said, go across to the cathedral, the St. Francis Cathedral. And at this point, I'm like, what? And ask them. So I have this meal, which was delicious, by the way, and head straight to the cathedral through the back door. And the first thing I see is St. Francis. And the second thing I see really stops me in my tracks, because it's a song I've just learnt. It is Merry and Tyre of Knots. Now, if you're part of Abbey of the Arts, you will know that we are launching 2 years of work all about the different faces of Mary. And my friend Richard and I are two of the musicians that got commissioned to write songs. And one of the songs, my favourite song on the whole album, is Merry and Tyre of Knots. Right, so the conference hasn't started. I haven't even got into my hotel room yet. And there she is. There's Spirit, right there, in statue form. So, of course, I decided I need to learn Richard's song really quick. So here it is. I think I've learned it. That's what I was doing this morning when I was trying to get ready on time. Here we are. And this is the thing that accompanied me into the workshop. And all this magic happened. It was really quite bizarre. Well, let me see if I can get the first note. Undo me, untire of knots, I am ready. Undo me, untire of knots, I am ready. I am ready, because I am tangled, longing to be free, free from these patterns. Undo me, untire of knots, I am ready. Undo me, untire of knots, I am ready. I am ready, because I am wounded, aching to be healed, healed to be joyful. Undo me, undo me, untire of knots, I am ready. Undo me, untire of knots, I am ready. I am ready, because I am tangled, longing to be free, free from these patterns. Undo me, undo me, untire of knots, I am ready. Undo me, untire of knots, I am ready. I am ready, because I am wounded, aching to be healed, healed to be joyful. Undo me, untire of knots, I am ready. Undo me, untire of knots, I am ready. I am ready. So then I show up at this conference, with my heart open and try to be in service and my guitar over my shoulder. Magical things always happen when I travel with my guitar over my shoulder. And underneath this video, there's a green button with a link to the very first encounter that happened, which was random people stopped me and asked me to play for them, which was just so delightful. And Mary showed up in my songs and blessed people, right? Really, it's as simple as that. Completely can't explain it, don't need to explain it, but there was healing and solace and grace that I sang, and I would watch it, and people would be moved and receive what they needed, and then the little window of time would close and I would go off to the next plenary or workshop, and and it didn't matter who it was. It was a very tender and I got one of the people that I was able to play for one-on-one like this was Merrill, who I don't know, but I've taken a few of her classes, and when I was asked to write the Magnificat, her book Wild Mercies really helped me. And then recently at my seminary I did an elective. Sometimes I will study still with my seminary one spirit, and Mirabai was offering a class on Zoom, so she doesn't know me, so it was a real tender and beautiful thing to share what I hear in her teachings and song. And it felt just as tender for the person whose name I didn't know, that I've never seen before. It was really magical. Make me an instrument of your peace. And the whole heart open piece of just all this stuff going on in the world. So what do you all think of that amazing song? It's the Tyre of Knots. It's I'm still learning how to play it, but I feel like it's what we need. It's what we need in our divided and fractured collective, and or our individual grief. All these things that are creating painful slicing us apart from one another. What else was I going to sing you? See, I didn't know where I was going to go today, so just put a bunch of songs up there. Oh yeah, I wanted to also sing Requiem, because I'm very excited and bubbly in telling you about this workshop, but it was actually also very painful to examine some of the shadow side of our collective and the grief, the incredible grief that so many people are carrying. Like, I suppose that's why I started Chants and Prayers for Healing. Was because I knew that there was a lot of pain in the world. But to hear about all the things the other spiritual directors have been carrying, especially, as I said, the BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, people of colour, that was quite harrowing, harrowing. So let me put my notes away, because I need to get the lyrics up. Forgive me here for not being quite ready for you. I must have given the lyrics away when I was in Santa Fe, because I was hunting through my folder and I couldn't find the song sheet anywhere, which, knowing me, I would have been like, oh, you need this song. Actually, I think I gave it to Mirabai Sahar's assistant. Oh, give me just a little bit longer. Requiem. Here it is. So this is getting launched soon. This is the song that I played to the two women in the video, and it was written after a tsunami, and it helps me keep my heart open when I hold situations in prayer here and in the world, especially when you see images that you can't bear to take in. How do you take that in prayer? Well, one way is you ask Mother Mary to join you, to strengthen you, or you to uphold her as she does that. Start again. Capo 1. So I was on an airplane and had to string up my guitar, and of course some of the strings broke, so okay. Mother Mary, full of grace, awaken. All our homes are gone, our loved ones taken. Taken by the sea. Mother Mary, calm our fears, have mercy. Drowning in the sea of tears, have mercy. Hear our mournful plea. Our world has been shaken, we wander, our homelands forsaken. In the dark night of the soul, bring some comfort to us all. Oh, Mother Mary, come and carry us in your embrace, that our sorrows may be faced. Mary, fill the glass to overflowing. Illuminate the path where we are going. Have mercy on us all. In funeral fires burning, each flame to your mystery returning. In the dark night of the soul, your shattered dreamers, make them whole. Oh, Mother Mary, find us where we've fallen out of grace. Lead us to a higher place. In the dark night of the soul, our broken hearts you can make whole. Oh, Mother Mary, come and carry us in your embrace. Let us see your gentle face. Mary. Amen. Let's go into our time of shared prayer. Whatever your prayers are, please bring them, whether they're for yourself or for this world. There's no hierarchy in prayer or in pain. Please share with us. And also, you don't have to be the same faith tradition as me. We are a diverse and eclectic bunch of people. So later when I ask you to, if you'd like to type your chats, your prayers into the chat, please use the language which is true to you. You don't have to be interspiritual like Simon. You can just be bog standard Presbyterian or whatever it is. You might not even believe in prayer. My parents don't believe in prayer, they told me, but they come. They say I believe in prayer. So my dad said he'd strengthen my prayers. It was a very interesting conversation. Hi, Mum and Dad, if you're watching. Yeah. So here's a story about Jesus' healing for us to lean into. Remember, we are told this and more you can do. And this past weekend, I can kind of testify to that. It was pretty amazing, the blessing that poured through me. Just then, a woman who'd been subject to bleeding for 12 years came up behind Jesus and touched the hem of his cloak. She said to herself, "If only I touch his cloak, I will be healed." So she came up behind him and touched the edge of his garment. Immediately, her bleeding stopped. "Who touched me?" Jesus asked. And when they all denied it, Peter said, "Master, the people are crowding and pressing against you." But Jesus said, "Somebody has touched me. I know that power has gone out from me." And he turned and he saw her. He said, "Take heart, your faith has healed you." And the woman was healed at that moment. Spread wide the hem of your garment. Bring healing, bring peace. Spread wide the hem of your garment. Bring healing, bring peace. So this is a Celtic Lurika. It's a circling blessing. And the way that I encourage us to do it is to receive it first. So we'll change the language to first person with love, and then we will send it out as a prayer and use the second person. Love with me, love before me, love behind me, love in me, love beneath me, love above me, love on my right, love on my left. Love when I lie down, love when I arise, love when I take rest, love to shield me. Love with you, love before you, love behind you, love in you, love beneath you, love above you, love on your right, love on your left, love when you lie down, love when you arise, love when you take rest, love to shield you. Peace with you, peace before you, peace behind you, peace in you, peace beneath you, peace above you, peace on your right, peace on your left, peace when you lie down, peace when you arise, peace when you take rest, peace to shield you. Christ with you, Christ before you, Christ behind you, Christ in you, Christ beneath you, Christ above you, Christ on your right, Christ on your left, Christ when you lie down, Christ when you arise, Christ when you take rest, Christ to shield you. If you'd like to type your prayers into the chat, I can read them out loud. I'd like to begin with a prayer request from my father. He asks that we pray for 2 of the Episcopalian priests in his life, John, who I know really well, who's having some heart surgery work. I think it might be a bad bypass. Pray for successful treatment for John. We also pray for Pete, who's my dad's minister, who's been having heart attacks. I'll pray for my dad's small church, that they can rally round and support Pete and his wife and keep the sacred work going. Pray for John Buick, who was my friend when we were both 5 years old, who's stepping in to lead the services at the moment. We also pray for Charlotte, who is recovering from a really bad situation with a collapsed lung and other injuries. Charlotte, we send light and love to your body as you heal very quickly. We pray for Henry, who hopefully is on the conference call. Oh, and Barbara's here in real time today. Hello, Barbara. We've been praying for your ACL knee surgery. Yeah, we strengthen you in continued healing as you experience healing and pain, hopefully increased mobility. Loretta, she writes that she's suffering with COVID, tested positive last Friday, and you're so weary. And she writes that she loves the untier of knots. Yes, may that untie the knot of COVID from you, strengthen you. And know that COVID is a painful injury for you and your family. May it treat you lightly, and may you heal. We join Robert in upholding prayers for Joyce, who has 4 broken ribs. And discernment prayers for her upcoming trip. Absolutely. We surround Joyce in light and love. Bring healing. Patricia, we hold your prayer for Catherine, who has a lot on her plate at the moment. May she be strengthened and guided. Val is praying for Nancy, who will have surgery on the 1st of June for a rare oral cancer. The prayer is that the surgery will be successful and that the cancer won't spread. And also, we uphold your prayer for Doris, who has AFib that isn't regulated. A prayer that she is able to be stabilized. Betsy, we join you in praying for sweet Mike, whose life is heavy with physical issues and years of alcohol and other things. May he find relief and healing. Sally writes, where to begin? Prayers for all who's suffering in one way or another, and prayers of thanks for all the good things in this life. Sally, I think that sums up my prayer too this day. Thank you for reading my heart. And we all uphold you in this prayer of where do you begin? Claire, you must be home. So we've been praying for Claire around her trip to see her mother, who we thought was dying, and you thought was dying, and you went not sure if she'd still be alive. And then she stabilized, and you all moved her into a care home. And we've been sending you light and love, and here you are. And Claire writes, in gratitude for community, the power of prayer and spirit experienced in my life and sustains me. May those of us graced with these gifts live in the hope and love they inspire. It changes you when people pray with you and for you, and you feel it. Absolutely. And prayers for your sweet mama. I'm not sure what's happened because I've been completely offline for a while, but prayers for you and for her and your whole family, Claire. Prayers for your family, Sarah. Sarah writes, I just found out my mother has cancer. And prayers for me to handle yet another person in my family with cancer. Absolutely. Loving God, in every situation you are present, be present to Sarah's mother. In whatever unfolds, bring healing. Bring healing to Sarah. And help us learn to accept that cancer sometimes is very unfairly dished out through our genes. Some families hold so much of it. Bring healing. Oh love, hear our prayer. Oh love, hear our prayer. When we call, come be near. Oh love, hear our prayer. Oh love, hear our prayer. Come and listen, be here. Invite us to pass the peace. Got one more song for us. Oh, but first I want to tell you that I'm doing Tazy today at 5 o'clock my time, which is in about 4 hours. And that's a little gem of a contemplative service in which I don't prattle on like I do in Chants and Prayers for Healing. So if you ever think, I'd love to just hang out with Simon, but it'd be more contemplative and less words, Tazy is the way to do that. So that's today at 5. There's in the archive, I think we're on 14 this time around, so there's a bunch of Tazy services in the Crowdcast and YouTube archive. Thank you for being here, and I've got one more song for us, which is Deep Peace. Just get myself ready here. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the child of peace to you. And moon and stars pour their healing light on you. La 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 la. La 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 la. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the child of peace to you. And moon and stars pour their healing light on you. La 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 la. La 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 la. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the child of peace to you. And moon and stars pour their healing light on you. La 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 la. La 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 la. Watch thou, dear Lord, with those who wake or watch or weep tonight, and give thine angels charge over those who sleep. Tend thy sick ones, Lord Christ. Rest thy weary ones. Bless thy dying ones. Soothe thy suffering ones. Pity thine afflicted ones. Shield thy joyous ones, and all for thy love's sake. Amen. And so it is. Take care. Most high, all-powerful, precious God, no spoken word can hold your name. Praise be to you who births all life, with all your creatures. Especially you, sir, brother, son, who is the day and is your light. Beauty so true to you. There you are, there you are. Praise be to you, my Lord, you are Sister Moon and the stars. Bright, precious heaven, there you are. There you are. Praise be to you, my Lord, you are Brother Wind and the air. Breath of spirit, there you are. There you are. Praise be to you, my Lord, you are Sister Water, gift of life, pure, essential, there you are. There you are. Praise be to you, my Lord, you are Brother Fire, friend through the night, strong and playful, there you are. There you are. Most high, all powerful, precious God, through Mother Earth we see your face. You who govern all of life, sustain and nurture all that is. Sister Death, first and last breath, the key unlocking